Hey guys, it's me, Nikki Z. I'm here to do that tutorial I spoke of the other day, featuring the Too Faced a la Mode Eyes Palette. And just to give you guys a brief description on what colors we are using the shade Riviera, which is a kind of peachy cream shade, very pale. We are using the shade Monaco, which is a bright blue-toned fuchsia. We are using the shade La Croisette, which is a very pale gold white color. And we are using Jardin, which is a peachy pink shade. We are also using the shade Soleil, which is like a chocolate kind of coppery cherry color. So if you do not have this palette, do not fret. I'm sure there's plenty of dupes for these colors, especially Monaco, which is the bright pink, like the fuchsia shade. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've already applied the tape right there next to my eye. And what I'm going to do is use a primer. Now for this, I am having a hard time finding one of my favorite primers that I do use. So I will actually be using, it looks like I'm actually going to be using the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of this on my entire eyelid. And I'm going to bring it all the way up to my brows. And on the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I will be applying it right underneath my lower lash line, just all the way underneath my eye and over, like so. Next, I'm going to go ahead and apply a white base. Now there's quite a few different kinds you can use, basically. I'm sure you guys have already heard about the NYX eyeshadow base that's white. They have one that is pure white. They have one that is white with a little bit of shimmer. Sometimes I use the e.l.f. Smudge Pot in Pearls of Wisdom. Today I am using the MAC Chromaline in pure white. All of them would suffice. It's just going to help the bright fuchsia pink shade in the corner pop a little bit more. I will be applying this to my entire eyelid, stopping at the crease. Now I am going to use a base shade that's from another palette. I'm going to be using the shade Naked 2 from the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. Just to give you an idea, I wanted kind of a softer transition shade. So it is a very muted nude brown. It's a very light color. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that. I'm going to apply it directly to my crease. It's just going to help the cherry shade, like the cherry chocolate shade that I use from the Too Faced palette, blend a little bit more seamlessly in with the highlighting shade. So that's all I'm using of that palette. It's basically everything's going to be from this except for like the eyeliner and of course the transition shade. Any light brown would honestly work pretty well. Now what I'm going to do next, I feel kind of weird. I always say that I'm like so. What I'm going to do next, basically I'm going to go ahead and grab a brush to apply the shade La Croisette, which is a very, very pale shade, onto my eyelid. I'm only going to apply it right at the inner corner for a little pop of color, or rather, I guess, for like more of a brightening and widening effect. and I'm going to just pat it on. I'm going to be stopping at my crease. I will also be stopping about right here on my eyelid, so about a third of the way over. Like so. Now I'm going to grab the shade Jardin, which is that very pretty peachy pink shade. I'm going to use my finger for this because I feel like I really do not get the kind of pigmentation I want using a brush, and I have tried many different brushes. I've tried many different techniques. When I'm using it wet, it works better with a brush, but dry, good luck. So I'm going to go ahead and use my finger like I mentioned. I'm going to put it right next to the light shade that we just applied, and I'm just going to kind of touch back and forth where it meets the cream shade just to help it blend a bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the shade Monaco. Again, Monaco is that fuchsia shade with a blue tone. It's a little hard to use as well, so I'm going to be packing quite a bit of color on. Like, I literally dabbed my brush into it like quite a bit, and this is all I'm really getting. So I will be patting kind of hard to make sure I get that color payoff. I'm going to grab a little bit more, and then I'm going to kind of soften it when it reaches the light peachy pink shade. So I'm going to kind of blend it a little bit back and forth. And I'm going to grab a little bit more of the peachy pink shade and just apply it right where they meet. And again, just kind of rock back and forth a little bit. When in doubt, blend it out. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a brush to kind of soften that look a little bit. So I'm going to blend right at the edge. Just to soften where it meets the crease. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab the shade Soleil. Now this is that chocolate bronze kind of cherry color. I really, really like this a lot. It's a very, very pretty color. I will be using, and this is from, most of these brushes like came with palettes. This one is from, LA Colors, I guess. It's a really cheap blending brush. It's long and tapered. So I will be grabbing a little bit of Soleil, and I'm going to just kind of slide it right along that tape. It's where it meets that pink. I'm going to build up the color there just a little bit. I'm going to try and bring that color down to my lashes, right along that tape. And then I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I'm going to actually put that in the crease. And I'm gently going to blend it over and inwards, right there in my crease. And a little bit upwards here. It doesn't have to be perfect. What I'm going to do next is take a big fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to just soften the top of that because I want it to gradually move into that highlight shade. Alright, now for the highlight shade, I'm actually using the shade Riviera, which is kind of like a nice cream peach. It's very, very pale. And I will be applying that directly under my brows. Now this is a very, very shimmery shade. So you do not need a lot whatsoever. Now I'm going to kind of bring a little bit down into Soleil that we just used. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and use that fluffy blending brush. Just to kind of soften it a little bit. Now I'm going to take a brown eyeliner. This is from Urban Decay. It is the shade Roach, and it's kind of like a, let me go ahead and swatch that for you guys. It's like a coppery brown with a little bit of shimmer. I will be applying that directly under my lower lash line, about halfway over, right along that tape. I'm going to be smudging it. So go ahead and take like a brush, a little one to smudge that out with. I'm actually going to use the e.l.f. Precision smudge brush. I believe it's the, small precision brush from e.l.f. This poor thing has seen some better days. My only complaint with the e.l.f. brushes is that after they get wet, the wood tends to expand quite a bit, causing a little bit of a crack in the paint. But it's not even a big deal, so I still use them. And I've had this brush for 3 years. So it's seen a lot of eyeshadow. Alright, so I went ahead and smudged that out a bit. I will be grabbing the shade Soleil. Again, it's going to be that chocolate cherry shade. I will apply a little bit of that with that precision brush right on top of that eyeliner. Now I'm going to be stopping about halfway. I'm going to wipe that same brush off. If a little bit of product is on there, it's not a big deal. I'm going to grab some of that Monaco, the fuchsia shade again. And I'm going to pat it on the middle and bring it inwards. And I'm going to be smudging it, of course. So that way it has a nice little transition blend with that chocolate cherry color. Now I'm going to use my finger and grab a little bit of Le Creuset, which is the first shade that we used. I'm going to apply it right on the inner corner of my eye, just for a small pop of like a highlight to help attract light, of course. Now what I'm going to do next is take an eyeliner. This is going to be from e.l.f. It's the Intense Ink Eyeliner, which is amazing. So it's like my personal favorite right now. And I'm going to create a cat eye. I'm actually going to move my mirror, so I apologize, guys. It's really hard for me to do liquid eyeliner or any type of eyeliner when I have a camera in my face. So I may be blocking out some light, and I apologize. You guys know how to do liner. You just kind of, just kind of apply it, I guess. I use the tape as a guide. I really, really enjoy the fine tip of this liner. Like, it's amazing. Alright, like that. And I am going to grab a little bit of this and just apply it on the outer edge of my lower lash line. And kind of fade it a little bit back and forth so that it blends with the cherry shade. Now I will be moving this back so you guys can see a little bit better on what I've done. Again, I apologize. I'm just not very good with eyeliner and stuff on camera. So I did my best. So this is basically the look. What I'm going to do next is take a black eyeliner just for my waterline. I can do that on camera. So I will be grabbing my Too Faced Perfect Eyes Waterproof Eyeliner in Perfect Black. And I'm going to go ahead and just apply that on my waterline, of course. Normally I tightline, but it's hard to do that on video again. So yeah, I do apologize. I'm going to go ahead and peel off the tape very gently. This is basically what you're left with. I will be taking a pencil brush or just any type of blending brush to kind of smudge the edge and soften the line where the tape was so it's not that harsh, like that. And then I will be applying some mascara. Now for my mascara, I am a huge fan of the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Mascara. It's super duper cheap. I buy like 4 at a time, and then I always end up getting more. I'm actually down to 1 backup. So I did place an order with e.l.f. today. Also, heads up, I bought some new brushes from them, the ones they just released. So I will be reviewing them whenever I get them in my hands. They look amazing, so I am pretty excited about that. Alright, that is the eye look. I went ahead and finished off the look with the Sleek Makeup Blush in Pixie Pink. It's a nice blue-toned baby pink. Kind of bright, but I really, really like it a lot. This stuff is amazing and super freaking pigmented, so you really do not need a lot at all. A little bit goes a long way unless you want to look crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. And then I'm going to use a tapered, like a small tapered brush, specifically for highlighting. For my highlight, I'm actually using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, and I'm using the very middle shade here. I'm going to go ahead and swoop that underneath my eyes and blend it with the pink to kind of give it a soft sparkle effect. Now I'm also going to apply it on my chin, nose, forehead, Cupid's bow, like that. For the lips, I opted to use a MAC lipstick in a very, very nice matte pink, and it is a Rose Romance. It does have a bit of shine. It's actually a luster. So let me go ahead and line my lips. I will be lining my lips with the Covergirl Lip Perfection in Splendid. It's a very, very similar pink shade. Just kind of a nude pink. Alright, time for the lipstick. Pretty basic. Again, this is just a look that I really, really enjoy quite a bit, and this is like, I think, the 5th time in 8 days that I've worn it. So it is a look that I really enjoy a lot, and I'm going to be using it probably for the rest of the spring. Probably going to sport it sometime this summer as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up, leave a comment, message, you know, all that fun stuff. please check out my blog at allaboutyoureyesLipsFace.blogspot.com. I have a pretty cool giveaway going on right now. There's like, I think 2 weeks left of it. So if you'd like to try a Foreo Luna Mini, totally enter, because they are amazing. Foreo is a great brand. I have not touched my Clarisonic in a really long time. So I guess I prefer it. I have sensitive skin. So yeah, enter. There's quite a few different ways to enter, of course. And yeah, bye.